Cha-ching, 5 stars.
Call us at 265-HER.
That's 265-4878. We are your local law firm.
Wow, that's a lot of food.
I saved so much money at Budget Breaks tonight. I'm eating like a king.
That's great, Hal.
Budget Breaks. Breaks starting at just $100.
If you are looking to buy or sell a home this morning, then we are talking to you, and you are going to be happy that we are, because for the first time on the show, we have Grace Frank. She has the Grace Frank Group, kind of a boutique realtor agency here in town. Next to her is Josh McGinnis. They say that they're kind of a great dynamic team because Grace brings the fun of finding the house of your dreams, and then Josh over here helps make sure that you get it because he's on the lending side. But good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
It's fitting to talk to you ahead of Valentine's Day because you're gearing up for this Sweetheart Homes tour. You've been doing this for 19 years?
19 years, yeah. It's our 19th Sweetheart Home Tour.
So the idea is to just kind of go with your special someone and take a look at some of these homes that are currently on the market, but they're all over the viewing area.
All over. We have Jasper Highlands is on the tour. We have Harrison, Ottawa, Signal Mountain, Chickamauga, everywhere. We have over 22 homes on the tour this year, which is our largest tour. It's progressive, so probably hard to get to 22 homes in a couple of hours. It's Sunday 2 to 4, but you know, the more places you go, you get to register for some of our drawings. We have a dinner for 2 at Aaliyah's. We're doing a beautiful gift basket.
Oh, wow.
So we have a lot of fun things that people can participate with and get into the drawing for some really neat sweetheart gifts.
So do you think, once upon a time in real estate, it seemed like the line was spring is the best time to list your home. I don't know if that is still the case, but you tell me. Is it still the best time?
It depends on the location. There are certain markets that are great to list all year round. Like downtown, you can list any time of the year. In some areas, spring is the best time to list. This is kind of our launch of listings for early spring, going into general spring. You know, winter, things just look uglier.
Yeah.
So the warts come out, I say. So that's kind of key. But, you know, it just depends on the location. When is a good time to sell and not to consider.
One thing I think that's good about selling in the winter is landscaping is not quite such a concern because you can't do anything about it, right?
And there's a lot of buyers out. So there, you know, in the wintertime there's less inventory, the buyers are looking, so you know, you have a higher chance. That's why we always do the Sweetheart Tour early in the spring, so it gets a lot of people out and excited. So we love the Sweetheart Tour. It's kind of our launch for the year.
You mentioned inventory. That's very key. There was a time, I've been having these conversations a lot over the years, and a few years ago, you better pretty much be a cash buyer, Josh, and be prepared to bid up. It hasn't changed that much, but you've got a great track record of making sure your clients are ready to secure that loan.
I do. The national average is 8 to 9% of home buyers are denied their loan in underwriting. That's after they've found the home, gone under contract, paid for an inspection, paid for an appraisal, and then the lender says, sorry, you actually don't qualify. 8 to 9% is the industry average. We're very proud of the fact that our average is actually 0%, not just for last year, but going back for almost a decade now at 0%. We've never made that mistake with the buyer. And part of it is because we do all the underwriting up front, and we don't wait till the end to kind of figure out potential problems.
Which also, I guess, comes back to using local, right? Don't do the 1-800 I've gotcha thing, right? Because they might not be thinking of all the pitfalls that could be coming your way. It's got to be a little bit protective that you feel when you're talking with these clients because they're kind of exposing their underbelly to you.
I'm fiercely protective. You can ask anybody who's close to me, my family, my friends. Once you kind of get in my circle, I guard you like crazy. I'm right now fighting with on the behalf of a veteran who has a fraudulent charge on his credit that's lowering his credit score, giving him a higher interest rate. And we are spending hours going through this, trying to figure out how to get this bad part of his credit removed so that he can save $45 a month.
Wow.
You know, like $45 a month, that doesn't change anybody's life. We know that, right? But it's still $45.
Right. And, it's
and
the
he deserves
principle.
it. He
It is the
deserves it. It
principle.
is. It's the principle. He deserves it. So we really throw ourselves into those things. To
Okay,
make a
you mentioned the
difference.
savings component. Y'all were telling me as you sat down about something you do with a 1%. What? Pick it up from there. 1% of what?
So he has a program with the Grace Frank Group Listings, which is a key part of listing with Grace Frank, that he offers to any buyer that is looking at one of our listings. So
Yeah, so it's a 1% lender credit. So what I'm doing is I'm basically putting skin in the game to help incentivize the buyers that are looking at the listings that Grace Frank has brought to the table. So that 1% can be used to lower your closing costs, so less cash to close, or it can lower your rate by probably about 1/4 of a point below market average.
Wow.
And this is something that really we're just offering with the Grace Frank Group, and especially comes in advantage with this tour of homes.
Well, not to get too in the weeds, but there were some changes made within the year, 6 months to a year, with realtor commissions. So where the buyer could potentially be paying their buyer's agent, right? So would that 1% savings be really beneficial in that situation?
Would. In fact, I had a buyer that just recently closed. Same situation. He was short on cash, needed a 1% additional to pay his realtor, and we did it in the lender fees.
And that helped it.
But I would say that in general, most sellers are still, giving out a compensation for the buyer's agent. It's just how we have to communicate it with the agents and present it, which is different. So in general, most sellers know that to make their home competitive, they still need to offer the compensation to a buyer's agent.
So when they get there, is it a ticketed thing, this Sweetheart Tour?
No, I mean, so if you can go to sweethearthometour.com and you'll see all of the properties that are on the tour. You can figure out where you want to go. There's no ticket, you just have to show up at a home. Yeah.
And then you'll fall in love with the home of your dreams. And
That's
if you
right.
are looking to list or
Yes.
buy, now you know that there she is on Georgia Avenue.
Yep.
And she's a boutique group, and they would love to give you that one-on-one time that
Absolutely.
you deserve. 544-7156, their website, gracefrankgroup.com.
Hi, I'm Jeff Wilson. I'm an energy efficiency expert. And if you've been living with a cold, drafty home with high energy bills, it's time you take a hard look at USA Premium Foam Insulation.
USA Insulation.
Tax season is here and so are the savings. This February at Linderman's Furniture, we are paying your sales tax on all furniture purchases.